everybody, and welcome back to the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I'm your whimsical DM, Victoria, and we're gonna play some D&D tonight. But before we play D&D, we're gonna give you some announcements and some words of thanks for our sponsors, which Kristy so kindly does definitely live every week. So Kristy, if you would take it away.
Good evening, and welcome to the show. Now, here's a word from our sponsors. Little Dragon Core is a Canadian-based dice company that supplies all kinds of cool tabletop gear. I mean, look at all these pretty dicey boys. Head on over to littledragoncorp.com and enter the coupon code BONUS for 15% off your order. That's BONUS. Cardboard Castle Games is a brick-and-mortar game store local to Evans, Georgia. They have a wide selection of tabletop gaming and other cool games like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, and even Yu-Gi-Oh! You can visit them in-store and let them know that we sent you, or you can go visit their website at cardboardcastlegames.com. Also, big thanks to Syrinscape for the amazing atmospheric sounds and music. You can add these sounds and more to your game when you download the Syrinscape desktop or mobile app. The app is free and comes with 20 sound sets that are included to get you started. You don't even need to register. Go to Syrinscape.com to find out more. Thanks as well to Adrian Von Ziegler for providing some additional music that we use here on Thursday nights. He's a talented composer with great content usage rights, so go check out his YouTube and Patreon and support him if you can. Please check out our other games. We stream almost every day here at Provo. We have games for several of the major published 5e modules, as well as homebrew games, and some of our games feature systems other than 5e, like Star Wars, Power Rangers, and Alien. Come watch all of our VODs over on our YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget, you can also support the channel by following, by subscribing, remembering to click the bell notification so you never miss another live stream, using channel emotes, and if you're an Amazon Prime user, you get a free subscription to Twitch every month. Thanks again to all of our sponsors for supporting Proficiency Bonus. And now, back to the show.
Thank you, Kristy, for the live, in real time, not recorded announcements. I appreciate it. And with that, we're going to get back to a little recap. So, Ink, if you could take it away as our resident recapper and let the good people out there know what happened when last we met.
But of course, and I hope everyone had a wonderful holidays and hope that New Year's is good for you. So, I've been granted the ability to remember what happened last time, but I'm afraid that possibly our characters do not. For you see, they have found themselves in the domain of delight owned by a giant spider known as Yarn Spinner. Yarn Spinner has awakened many animals in this idyllic grove, and every night reads them stories from Yarn Spinner's dreams. Many that at least seem to be partially true. The party listened to one of these stories and learned the origins of essentially the state of Hither, Thither, and Yon as they know it so far. They heard of a terrible force of evil and the heroes that tried to rise up and stop it, and also of the Hourglass Coven, who have frozen Zybilna in time. The party entreated on their storyteller to know what parts of this tale might be true, as it would give them guidance in how to undo what has been done. But unfortunately, Yarn Spinner claims that they just merely come to them in dreams, and to make the stories a little bit more exciting, they like to exaggerate. They are offered a place to stay here, food to eat, and the party decides to share with Yarn Spinner their own story, how they found themselves in the Feywild and the task that has been set before them, and also the tales of their lives beforehand, how they met as children and how they reconvened with each other as adults. But in the night, dreams seemed strange, almost like a replaying of events, even for some that the rest of the party wasn't privy to before. Seeing the dreams of the other Fae Lost as they had happened, all with Yarn Spinner watching in the distance. The party, for example, sees Ego clashing with their mother in a moment that had only once been confined to Ego's mind alone. When they awoke, they found that their story was taken. They could not remember the names of their friends, and they could not remember their own names. They knew that they knew each other, but the words and details were lost to them. The party was quickly able to surmise that Yarn Spinner seems to have done something, taken their story, taken their memories, and they set out to try and find the spider and rectify this. They found another man who seems to have been here for some time, who has also had his story taken. In exchange for helping the party, telling them where these stories are kept, he made a deal, asking that his story also be returned to him. The party learned that Yarn Spinner seems to keep all of these stories in magical tomes in a library or archive of sorts. But it would seem that when Yarn Spinner is not out in the grove sharing these stories, they are most likely back in this place. And so the party must wait for their time to infiltrate and find not only their own story, but hopefully the story of Zybilna and what happened to her as well. So, when we reconvene, it is still early in the day, as day and night seems to actually be present here, and the party bides their time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Hopefully, they are not the ones caught in the spider's web. And that is what you missed. And that is what we missed last time.
In my free time, I'm so good at wordplay. Oh, look at me.
Oh my god. Well,
Fancy with
hey,
my words.
look at you. Look at us. Thank you for that. Kristy and Ink, you may take D6 Bardic Inspirations for your contributions to the stream. And without further ado, we can get right back into it. Let me... Exploration.
And also, Aurum wasn't here for any of that, so
yeah,
we don't know what he's going on with.
Aurum vanished.
Hell
He did
yeah.
vanish. Yeah, so when we left off, I believe Ego was just like getting like the Snow White experience of like brunch with animals and story time, and it was like sickening. But we will wind it back a little bit to see what happens with Aurum. So, Aurum, you and your party are traveling through that tunnel that seemed to go on for like hours and hours and hours. And when you look back, there isn't really like a way. You don't see that light from the forest. And so you keep going until you find yourselves on that threshold where the tunnel ends and it seems like some sort of forest begins. And as you're like looking around, you have this moment of realization while everyone's like kind of looking and not speaking, that you like look over to your left, see the trees, you look over to your right, and like everybody's gone. And it is just you and where is the thing that I'm looking for? Along this path ahead, you see that there are like roots and vines that are like twisting and bending and arching over this like forest floor and making a tunnel there in front of you. And like all of these tendrils from these plants are woven together through low-hanging branches. The foliage is very thick, and it seems to go very deep into the woods ahead of you. Yeah, that's what you see.
Guys, hello? Clover wasn't holding my rope. Oh, jeez. I'm just gonna walk. I'm gonna take out my compass and walk
Okay.
forward.
Yeah, you can do that. So, yeah. You keep on keeping on. You're walking through the forest. It's very lovely. Let's see. How would this go?
Hello?
Yeah, you're walking for like a while and you don't hear anybody. And then eventually, like you can kind of like see something rustling in the bushes ahead of you.
I'm gonna jump and try to grab it.
Okay,
What is
roll an athletics check.
it? 19.
I think that's gonna beat this. Yeah. So you jump into this bush and you grab something that's like big and warm and fluffy and kind of has this like earthy, musky brown fur. And as you do, you hear this startled, "Oh my goodness! Excuse me. Do you mind letting me go, please?"
Oh, I thought.
And-
my bad. Whoops.
Yeah, you let go, and then emerging from this bush is a brown bear.
A bear?
Yeah, like a grizzly bear, like a full-on grizzly bear is just there. "Oh, hello."
Hi. Hey, do you know where we are? Have you seen a little cat person with wings, or somebody that has like a really big hat, or somebody who looks really mad and like obsessed with money?
Well, I have seen cats, and I have seen birds and bugs with wings, but I don't think I've seen all of that in one. Nobody with a big hat, and everyone here in Fable Rise is quite happy. So I don't think I've seen that person either.
Okay. All right. I'm kind of lost. So.
Were you? Oh, you don't know where you don't where are you trying to go to? Did you want to learn to read? I'm on my way to learn to read.
I can't read, but I don't really want to read. So,
Oh well, there's so much information to be gained by reading. It's quite lovely, but I'm still learning a lot of words that go like letters all together. You know, like one letter makes sense, but then you put three together, and it's a little bit hard.
it's pretty hard. Yeah, I understand. I just don't like to read, so I get bored. I like physical activity. Like, is there like arm wrestling or something?
Oh, not really, no. We have story time, and then we have brunch, and then we have more story time, and then we have supper, and then maybe one more story, and then everyone goes to bed, and then we start all over again. But I have a good friend. His name is Jan Spinner. Jan Spinner has a library, and he has offered to teach me how to read. So I was going to go to his library and learn. If you wanted to walk with me there, you don't have to come in, but you could walk with me. I could try to give you directions, or we could wait for Jan Spinner to show up. Maybe he has seen your friends.
I'm gonna do what I do best. I'm gonna sit and wait. I don't want to go to a library. I don't know what that is. I mean, if it's books and stuff, I don't really want to go see it. So I'm just gonna sit here. Is that cool? I just sit right here.
Oh, I'm not in charge, so you can do whatever you want. There are books. It's technically a scriptorium, is what he calls it. But there's adventure books, so there are stories of creatures going on fantastic journeys. There are stories of like more boring things that were written by old dead people. There's books that help you become a better person. There's reference texts that you can read. I'm not quite good enough for that, but yes, there's...
You know what? Hold on a second. I just remembered I left something back there. I'm gonna go get it.
Oh.
You just go to the library. It'll be fine. I'll find my way.
Okay, good luck. Oh, what are you called? You remember your name. We haven't gotten quite to that point yet where things are happening.
Yeah, I don't think, I don't know. I know we've had the talk that it's not good to give your name out, but, my name's Aurum. Yeah.
Good luck, Aurum.
Thanks.
And the bear will turn and keep walking down this path.
I'm just gonna walk like 30 feet back and just sit down on the ground.
Okay, yeah, you do. How long do you sit for?
A couple hours.
Yeah, you sit, like a little bunny rabbit hops out and starts trying to make a conversation with you, and it tells you that it's gonna go get, it's gonna go, take a nap, and then, some little birds fly by, and they're like, well, why are you at story time? And, they're all kind of just, wondering what you're doing and, seeing if you, want to go with them or things like that, but you can wait a couple hours. It eventually begins to get dark, which is something rather new for being in the Feywild. It hasn't really... The time of day hasn't really changed in any of the places that you've been, but sure enough, rather quickly, the sun begins to set, although there isn't really a sun, but the lighting changes, begins to get darker, and the forest is, slowly darkening and yet lighting up with, little motes of light and little fireflies.
Are there stars?
There are not.
I'm so bored! This is so boring. Everybody normally finds me by now. What are they doing? God. I'm gonna just go to sleep.
Okay, one final thing. Before you go to sleep, just give me, a quick perception check, because I know you are kind of keeping an eye out for... Jesus. You're kind of keeping an eye out for your friends, so...
I'm on it tonight. 19 plus 5, 24.
Okay. So, for the couple hours that you're sitting there, you don't see your friends, and then eventually you kind of, pull off to the side of the path and, get set up between two roots on either side of, a tree trunk and bed down. Yeah, and you fall asleep for a little while, but, there's that, hunter sense, or, hunter-gatherer sense of, you feel like you're not alone. And your body just kind of knows. It's like when you know that somebody is looking at you even though you can't see them. And there's something just wakes you up. And as you look around, you see out in between the trees, and it's very hard to notice because it's very far away and the trees here are big and they're dense. There's this kind of foggy, silvery, movement. There's something huge in the forest that is, very quietly moving through.
I'm gonna... This is Predator versus Predator type thing. I'm just gonna stalk it for a while and see what it's doing.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
That's not good. 4.
You have a plus anything?
That's 3 plus 1.
Oh, buddy.
Wait, I have advantage. Hold on. Because of the the stuff, You have advantage on dexterity stealth checks that rely on moving stealthily due to my boots of elven kind.
Hey, do it.
That's way better. That's an 18.
Hey!
17
Total?
plus 1.
Okay.
Yep.
I keep forgetting that you don't have the highest of dexterities. You're just a beefy man.
I'm a strength ranger.
But we got those boots.
You're a stranger. Wait.
Yeah, so you follow this creature for a while, and as you get closer, you start to like make out what it is. It is this like massive spider. It's like huge. It's kind of in between huge and gargantuan for like mechanical purposes, and it is completely like see-through. It's like an apparition or a ghost of some kind, because this spider is, with almost complete silence, walking through the forest. Trees are like passing through its body. And you can see that it's just kind of like walking around, and you follow it for a little while. You see it stops by, there's like a little hut that's like no more than like 2 or 3 feet, and it begins to like wave its little spidery like feet in the air, and this like spectral thread begins to like pull and weave, and it vanishes, but it looks like it's coming from this little hut, and it weaves with this thread until like it kind of like looks like it forms a little book, and then the spider like it kind of just like tucks it away, and there's this like flash and a little shimmer, and then the little spectral book vanishes, and then the spider keeps going, and you can see that it stops by a much larger hut, a hut that looks like people could pass through the doorway, completely made out of web as well. And you see that it begins to weave this like spectral thread once again, and there are 3 strands of it that come out, like from the hut, and it weaves it into this big book, and then absorbs it into its body, and then it begins going deeper into the forest.
Well, I haven't seen my friends yet, so I'm gonna keep stalking the spider.
Yeah, you follow the spider very quietly and with a lot of stealth, and eventually, after like maybe like 30 minutes of walking, this like dense thicket of roots and thorns that you're walking through gives way to this imposing wooden door, and it's flanked by these 2 twisting, very like thorny plants that are coming up all around. And above the door there's a lattice of spider silk, and it's in this webbing that forms words, and it's actually in like several languages. You would see it in well, you can't read. It's in Common, Druidic, and Sylvan, but you can't really read, can you?
No,
can you
I can't read.
Yeah, so you
how.
see these like this lettering. I feel like the common lettering is probably like familiar to you, even if you can't read it. But the Druidic and Sylvan is probably a little bit alien. And this like spectral spider begins to like approach this doorway. And it starts like phasing through the door, and it's big, but it's like slowly going through. And the door is still shut.
Hey!
You yell that?
Yeah.
The spider like very quickly turns around, and all of a sudden like looming over you are these massive mandibles with these like sharp venomous pincers at the end, and 8 eyes all over its tarantula head looking down at you. And who might you be?
I feel like you're one of the people I shouldn't tell to, so I'm not gonna.
And why not? A tasty morsel. Come to my scriptorium. Do you have a story to tell?
I don't know why you're calling me tasty, but I'm not scared of anything, and you're not scaring me either. So, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
What I'm doing is of no consequence to you, for this is my realm. And you are just a little gnat trapped in the webs.
I think I'm a lion, not a gnat.
Perhaps. Regardless, you are in my domain. I owe you no explanation. I might ask the same question. What, pray tell, are you doing here?
I was following you, seeing what you were doing. You look a little bit suspicious.
And what did you see?
What are you going to give me in return for the answers?
How about a story?
I'm not really big on stories.
I think you'll find that the stories I can give are a little bit beyond what you might read in a regular book. Or perhaps... And he will, like, reach out one of his little... He has those cute little spider paws where they have, like, 2 little claws. And, like, shakes.
Well, what I saw was, you made a deal, by the way. What I saw was, you went up to a house, and you made a string that turned into a book. And then you went up to another big house, and you made 3 strings that turned into a really big book. That's it.
Well, aren't you a clever little one?
I don't hear that very often.
But you are tiptoeing along threads of a web that isn't yours. But I'll spare you for now. A story, yes. I have one. I have an interesting one that I could give you. Are you ready?
I mean, yeah, you told me it was going to be better than a regular story, so...
And so then, this, like, ghostly spider, like, shoots a web at you, and, is basically, like, making a web attack. Let's see. You have to make a strength saving throw.
11 plus 6 for a 17.
Okay. So, yeah, you are able to, break out of this webbing. And, the spider, if a spider could, like, sneer, he sneers at you. I can't give you the story if you're awake. Why don't you go to sleep? Enter the realm of dreams.
That sounds very, like, not a good idea.
Well, dreams make the best stories, and some dreams are tied to your memories.
I'm gonna be honest. Spider person,
Yarn spinner.
Yarn spinner. I see, predator to predator. I can't trust you. And if I go to sleep right now, right, you could just eat me. Why would I let you do that? And you're a big spider, and naturally spiders aren't necessarily the most honest people. No offense.
Perhaps you're not as clever as I thought. You do know that... Well, I am a spider, but how would I eat you when I can do this? And he starts, like, waving his, like, spider legs, like, and they just phase through the trees. And, like, he phases one of his legs through you, and you feel this, like, cold shiver. But, like, it passes right through you.
I don't know. I've seen weirder stuff here. I don't like this place.
May I remind you that this is my domain, and if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead already.
What, if you wanted me asleep, I'd be asleep already, wouldn't I?
Damn, he's good.
I could put you to sleep. You won't enjoy the process, though. I was hoping to give you a story willingly, to have an eager audience, but if you still want the story and you're not willing to receive it on my terms, I can make you sleep. You have a choice.
Me sleeping wasn't part of the deal of the story.
You being awake wasn't part of the deal either.
Well, then we're in a middle ground where if you kill me, technically, you're breaking a deal.
Then another deal. I won't kill you while you sleep this evening.
How about you won't kill me or harm me in any way whatsoever?
I won't kill you or harm you in any way whatsoever until morning story time. Surely you'll be wide awake by then. It's rather hard to avoid all of the singing creatures, the droning of stories being told. You'll be awake by then. You could fend for yourself, couldn't you?
I will accept this deal if, when you decide to fight me, you fight me fair.
Fight fair? You said yourself. Why should a spider fight fair if I'm so tricksy?
That's true.
If it isn't in, if
you
it's
just
not
admitted
in
to
my
wanting
nature,
to fight me, so
if it's not in my
Gotcha.
nature, if it's not in my nature to fight fair, then you'd be asking me to do something that, well, I'm incapable of.
Well, that just means you admitted to wanting to fight me in the morning.
I don't want to fight you in the morning. I just want you to go to sleep. Drift away into a little cocoon of dreams.
I don't like
And
how you're
while
saying
you're
that.
there, I will give you quite the story.
You know what? Forget it. I don't want a story. I'm just gonna go.
You don't want a story.
Turning around and walking away from the spider.
And we didn't agree to our deal. Unfortunately, you've seen some things that you were not supposed to see, and I can't let you just go. I suggest you turn around and walk into the scriptorium with me, if you value your life.
I hate to tell you, Big Spider, but I'm really not big on reading, so I think it'd be better if I just kept walking my way, to be honest. We could talk about it in the morning.
I don't think so. He's gonna make another web attack at you.
Okay.
Roll a strength saving
Aurum
throw.
experienced a very
Very
different tail
spider.
spinner.
Yeah, a very different character.
Strength saving throw, 19 plus 6.
Oh no, he's gonna solo this fucking.
Okay, yeah, so the
Oh,
the
no.
spectral web is not able to
He's a strong boy.
it's not able to tie you down. And the spider makes this irritated clicking hissing noise. We're gonna go in initiative real quick.
Oh
yeah.
God.
I'm here for this.
Sorry, guys.
Spider's like, if I can't web you, I will bring your hit points to 0 and knock you out.
I'll make you sleep.
Hey, he said he couldn't touch me, and now he's gonna try to touch me.
You guys didn't agree to that. You guys did not agree to you didn't shake on it.
No, he was just like, I can't eat you if I go through you, you know?
That doesn't mean he can't hurt you, he just can't eat you.
That's fair. 3 initiative.
Nice. Okay.
Oh man.
Whoa. Not 100. Okay. Aurum 3. Yeah, okay, so Yarn Spinner's initiative is 19. So
Twist their thorax.
let me do this.
Give him the old pincer twist.
Actually, wait, we'll go to combat. Go to battle. Okay,
Let me put on a battle map real quick.
There. I mean, I can put you guys on a battle map. Yeah. Well, really, there isn't really like a battle map for this one.
That's fine. I'm just putting you on so they see what we're
There
dealing
is,
with.
hold on. Go. The layer that you're on right now. I'm gonna do something.
Uh-oh. Oh.
And let me grab my little Aurum.
Oh no.
I have him hidden up here.
Hold on, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I'm also just gonna.
Hey, guys, let's all just watch it from over here.
Yeah, we're just gonna watch.
Here, let's put us in the this. Where's the? Let me make a little spectator box for us. There you go.
Here, I'll put you.
Clover.
I'll put you with non-ghostly.
Yeah, with good tail spinner.
There we go.
We're in the penalty box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So let's. Oh boy.
So.
Oh boy.
Okay. Yeah, the spider is gonna do some stuff. He's gonna make some attacks at you.
Oh yeah, you didn't see the like art, the like. Tail spinners.
That's my favorite kind of spider.
Actually.
It's so cute.
No, yeah, he is gonna. Okay, he's gonna make some attacks. Okay, the first attack that's not gonna hit. 11.
Nope.
So he reaches out to bite you and. Oh.
He was.
What was that?
Upset that it didn't hit me.
Graph is like, fuck.
The beast is demonic in nature. Very icky.
Very icky. Hey, that's true. That's true about this spider.
The second bite, dirty 20.
Okay, yeah, that'll hit.
Okay.
Ooh. It's very demonic in nature. Oh my god.
You take 15 points of necrotic damage.
Woo! Ouchie.
And then you need to make a strength saving throw.
That's half my health out of the window. All right.
Oh boy.
He's just gonna put you to sleep real quick.
8.
8?
Yep.
Okay, so Yarn Spinner lashes out at you with these, like, ghostly pointed mandibles, and again, they, like, pass through you. The first one completely, like, whiffs. The second one passes through you, but this time, like, that cold shiver, you feel, like, pins and needles to, like, an extreme degree all over your body as this, like, sense of despair just, like, hits you. And just makes your whole body feel weak. And then as you're kind of like in a moment of like, whoa, because you got hit so big, the spider turns and shoots another web at you. And this time you're not quite as quick to react. And so this like spectral, ghastly ghost web, like a huge blob of it hits into you. And like you basically get like webbed to a tree. You are restrained.
Okay.
So, pull up my conditions thing because I always forget.
We're gonna infiltrate the scriptorium. We're gonna find Aurum like webbed up.
Yeah,
in a
you're gonna find like a
and
little
Don's
web
gonna be
sack
like,
that's just full of goo and like golden lion hair.
No.
Don's gonna be like, we don't need to cut him out, right?
Got a question.
Yes.
How does Animal Messenger work? So when I have to list a location, it says I have to give a location and a specific description of the person I'm trying to send a message to. Can the location be here?
Ooh.
I mean, yeah, I feel like if Yeah, you can certainly try that if you think your friends are here. You can do that.
And it's my
yeah,
turn?
and a recipient who not yet. A
Okay.
recipient who matches a general description. Yeah. So yeah, restrained. Your speed is 0.
Okay.
Attack rolls against you have advantage. You have disadvantage. You have disadvantage on dex saves.
Okay.
Now it is your turn as the spider is like getting up on you.
I'm gonna smile at the spider. Wiggle into my little. Wait, restrained. I can still like do things. I just can't move.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wiggle into my pocket. I'm gonna take out a little tiny figurine of a silver raven.
Yeah. You do have the silver raven. Oh my god.
I would throw it on the ground. It becomes a silver raven. And I'm gonna.
It croaks at you.
Tell it that it's looking for. I'm gonna describe Clover, and I'm gonna tell it to say, "Big spider is bad. Trying to kill me right now."
Okay.
And then let it go.
Okay. Yeah, so the raven flies off into the woods. The consequences of which we will find out about later.
And then I have a bonus action. I'm gonna bullywog croak.
Okay, yeah. So is that a wisdom save?
I'm trying to find it. I just know I can do it.
It's your boon.
Where is it?
It might be...
There it is. A wisdom saving throw.
Yes, okay.
DC 12.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah. Damn. If it wasn't that one, that would have been so funny.
No, it was not. He rolled very high.
Alright. I'm gonna look it in the eyes while it takes me out.
Alrighty. So as you're webbed there, this creature is going to loom over you and is going to bite you again. On his turn. And he has advantage. Not great. 16?
That hits.
Okay.
My armor class is low.
I know, we need to fix that.
That's 18 points of necrotic damage.
I'm still up for the next bite.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
19 to hit?
That would hit,
honey.
yeah. I don't think you can roll under the amount of health I have left, so.
16 points of necrotic damage.
Yep, I only had 3.
Okay, yeah, so, with this final, bite, as it sees that you are, you're just feeling the energy being drained out of you. You're not even, taking physical damage. You just, feel overwhelmingly exhausted. And this specter looms over you and says, "Good night." just bites you in the head and you just pass out. And yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen with that. But that's the end of initiative. We're gonna go back to this. Yeah, so Aurum, you are not you're stable, you're not in saving throws. It doesn't kill you, but you don't know where your body is right now. But you are unconscious. And while you are there, you begin to dream. You see yourself as a little cub with your pride. you see all of your friends, like, going on adventures, hunting for the first time, like, getting into all sorts of hijinks, like, growing up in, these grasslands, and you notice, like, in the background, there's this, like, ghostly spider that's just, like, watching. But this dream, like, the version of you that is dreaming, it's not something that you are aware that this is, like, what just, like, knocks you unconscious. But you just see this, like, giant ghostly spider that is watching you, as you find yourself exploring the Shining Plains. And then you see yourself becoming a young man. You see your wedding. You're, like, kind of, like, hand-fasting, like, bonding ceremony to Mirror, I believe is his name. And, like, all of this, like, happiness. And then eventually you see, some of the more recent events of, like, I believe it's that you, remind me if I'm incorrect, because it's been a minute since we talked about this, but I do believe Aurum is set to become the next leader of his pride, right?
Yep.
And did the previous leader, that was his father?
Yes.
And his father has passed?
Yes.
Yeah, so,
Why?
yeah, what, do you have, like, specific conditions under which that happened?
No.
Okay, yeah, so... Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if he didn't see it.
This is, okay, yeah, you see, like, this beast of a Leonin, like, much larger than other Leonin, with this, like, fiery gold and red mane, that you recognize to be your father. He's missing an eye, like, it's, like, heavily scarred over, and he's got, like, part of his, like, lip is, like, torn away just from, like, fights, so he always has, like, a permanent, like, little snarl, even though he's, like, actually a very lovely man. And you kind of, like, see as you say goodbye to him as he's about to go on, like, a big hunt with, like, his party, because his hunting party, they've heard that there were, like, some poachers of some kind that seem to be going after, like, really strong animals, and that's not usually, like, you're supposed to go for the weak and the sick, like, the animals that are the whole herd is not going to be damaged by their loss, so going for a very strong, powerful prey animal is, like, damaging to the entire species. So he tells you that he's, like, heard about this, and he has to go, and he has to go deal with these poachers, with his hunting party, which is, like, the elite hunting party. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Aurum's probably like, I want to go, like,
Yeah,
let me
of
go,
course,
like, I want to go.
yeah.
And you get in a fight, and your father tells you, like, you cannot go, like, you have to stay, and you have to, like, take care of the tribe and your pride, like, while he is gone, and you leave on bad terms. Like, it's you have, like, some frustration and anger, because this is, like, a kind of younger version of you. Like, this is, like, young adult,
very
like,
stubborn.
teens Aurum, who, like, maybe hasn't gathered all of the wisdom yet. And your father leaves, and he doesn't come back. But you actually see a bit of what happens because you are in a dream, and something tells you to follow this spider. There's almost, like, the sense that, like, you have followed it before, and it's, like, this deja vu within a dream, and you begin to follow it, and the spider begins to walk off and follows your father, and it walks for a long time. Days and days and days pass, and your father finds himself in a part of the Shining Plains that, like, very few people go there. It's known to be rather harsh, like, environmentally. And they find signs of, like, very large animals, like, the biggest lion, like, dire lions, dire bears, like, the largest, like, bull elephants, mammoths, Wemmicks, which are, like, a kind of like a centaur, but, like, they're a lion person. Like, if you took a Leonin and made it into a centaur, some of them, which are known to be, like, allied with you, and some of them even live in your pride, like, a separate tribe of them has been, like, completely slaughtered. And, like, the hunting party's concerned. And then eventually, they continue to find these signs, like more and more bodies piling up. And it reaches a point where they find who they're looking for, or rather, the things looking for them find your father.
Oh.
And you see a pack of hunters, 8 of them, wearing dark, tattered cloaks, their faces hooded, wearing wooden masks where there are only, like, eyes cut out, with these massive, like, long bows that are made out of, like, living, petrified wood, arrows that are made of bone. They get into, like, a scrap with your father, and one by one his hunting party is taken down. And in the end, you begin to hear this, like, baying and howling, the likes of which, like, you've never experienced before. And even the most proud and accomplished hunter would be absolutely terrified to hear this noise. It sends, like, a shiver down your spine, and this, like, baying of these dogs, although they're not dogs, they have human faces, like, reaches your very core and freezes your heart. And these beasts come and they begin to tear your father apart. It's slow and it's painful, and it's not a warrior's death. Like, this isn't even the kind of honor that, like, a prey animal is given. This is not like a quick, clean kill. Like, this is torture. And as your father is lying there and the life is leaving his body, one of these hunters comes up and, like, puts his boot on your father's torn up chest and looks down at him and just kind of chuckles. Turns back to the group. Another trophy for the wild hunt. I thought this one would be a little bit harder to take down, but looks like we haven't quite found our quarry yet. Bedlam boys, take his head. I want it on a pike. And they decapitate your father, and they put his head on a spike. And this group of cloaked hunters in dark, shadowy clothing, they leave, and they do not use they don't use any parts of the creatures that they've killed. All they do is take trophies, a tusk from a woolly rhino, or from, like, a mammoth, or hyena ears. They cut off and they leave it, and in their wake they leave a trail of rot and blood and decay, and not even the vultures will feed on it. There is a funeral held, although no remains are to be had, but a symbolic funeral pyre is lit. And all of a sudden, you see yourself, and you have this massive responsibility put upon you, and that is now resting on your shoulders. And this is not what you want to do with your life. You're not ready for this. You didn't listen to your father when he told you that you were not ready and that you had to stay behind, and you didn't realize that at the time. But now that he's gone, you feel that, like, keenly. But then there's a part of you that also knows that you could be great and that you could do it, and you have the support of your friends. They're there for you. Your partner is there for you, and they support you, and they're trying to help you as best you can. But there's still something that you just feel like you need to get a little bit more confirmation that this is right. A little bit more help along the way, that you now don't have anybody to go to for it. And the elders tell you of a shaman who lives on a lonely peak in the midst of the shining plains. It's sort of this, like, stony outcropping. It's very out of place in the grasslands, but there upon the stony peak the shaman lives, and the shaman is known to be able to give people answers and to connect people to forces of life and nature that go beyond the norm. And you set off and you travel, and it's the dry season, so it's sweltering hot, and you run out of water very quickly. You do your best to find what you can, and you're good at it. You are very good at finding your way, navigating, taking down prey when you need to, finding water, and you finally arrive there. And there in this hut is this shriveled old woman wearing a cloak with this long hyena snout coming out, and she has like this giant mirror that is so ornate and out of place in this hovel made of like mud and sticks. And she tells you that you'll find what you seek and you'll have your wish granted if you but look in the mirror. And you do. And then you're falling. And you feel like your body is ripped through time and space, and almost feels like your soul is going to be like pulled from your body. And then all of a sudden you're in a swamp. A terrain that you are not quite familiar with. You've been through the river deltas, but nothing quite like this. Nothing so stagnant and tepid and just like humid and disgusting. But you're an improviser, if nothing else, and you're a survivalist, and you are able to make your way through. And then eventually you hear about this like witch, and that there's this witch who's very, very powerful, and she's scary, but she can do things for people. And there you meet other people that are looking to seek help from her because they have these like nagging issues that they need dealt with like right now. And so you make your way to this little town of bullywugs. You pass through really quick, you get on a boat, you go up to this hovel, and you climb up the stairs, and you meet with Bavlerna Bladestraw. You see her like big cracked skin, toad-like face, bulbous eyes looking in two different directions. And you say to her, like, I really feel like I've I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Like, I've lost my way now that my father's gone, and like, I need to find my way. Like, I don't have any sort of like direction. And she says, I can help you with that. Like, if you're not finding direction in your life, I can do that for you. And you agree. And you don't realize it at the time, but you've realized that you don't need to find your way if you have no sense of direction at all. You can't be directionless if there's no direction to start with. And so she takes that from you. And you stumble out of the swamps, and you don't even realize it at first that like something's wrong. Because everything looks the same here. You're still not quite familiar with it, but like it's harder to find fresh water. You're having a really hard time catching food. And then you see yourself stumble upon a group of weirdos. There's a pink and purple cat girl. There is a guy in like a big suit of armor that has all these like flowery motifs, and a little purple person in a big old hat. And then you see the rest of your journey that you've had so far with this party. And every moment of all of this, every second of it, there is a little ghost spider, big ghost spider, watching you in all of it. So we're gonna switch back over to the party here. I did not realize that we were gonna get into all of that. But hey, some information has been
I love it.
from that.
I love it. Damn.
Damn.
It's a lot.
Wow.
Oh boy. And I wanted to fight the wild hunts already.
Yeah. Yeah. So the group of you wakes up. I believe it was Clover had a rough night. She's staying in bed. And I think Dawn also Dawn is like enraged. And you guys like meet up with nobody. And you like get this like plan in place, but Ego goes off and is like, I'm gonna figure out what's going on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ego, like during like brunch and story time, you notice this like silver raven flies down and like begins eating the breakfast food, and it's like looking around, like it looks kind of confused, but it also is like super into like this magical breakfast with all the other animals. And it's like it's very weird. It's like silver, and it's like hopping around on the table.
A silver raven?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And then eventually it'll hop down.
Oh.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, does it talk? Is it one of the awakened animals?
It doesn't talk. That's the weird thing. It doesn't talk.
Yeah, okay.
Just croaks.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I will watch.
Yeah. And it pops down, and Yarn Spinner, who is in front of you, this like big brown spider, corporeally, sees this raven and is like, "Oh, hello, little one. Are you here for story time?" And the raven just sort of like croaks at it. Well, it's not as much fun if you can't talk. Do you mind? Would you mind? Would you mind if I just... And, he goes to, like, spin this little, like, web and, like, place it over the silver raven. And this, like, little, like, doily cap of silvery spider threads is sitting on, like, the silver raven's head, but then, like, nothing happens. Oh. That's the first time that hasn't worked.
I beat him in his own domain. Let's go!
Aren't you a curious one? Well, I'm not sure why I can't awaken you, but even if I can't, you're welcome here for story time. And this, like, raven is just kind of, like, hanging around. And it'll, like, hop down off of the table, and it, like, begins, like, looking out, like, through the trees all around the clearing.
Okay. All right. I was working on my spell, but I think that is... I think I was only a little bit interested in it, but then seeing that the raven is, resistant to the awakening, now I'm more interested, and I would like to follow it, or just sort of keep it in sight, you know?
Yeah, you can. The ribbon kind of like flies back to the brunch table a couple times, because this is like everything that a little forest critter could ever want for brunch. And it's like borderline irresistible. None of the other animals were able to, like, they're all stuffing their faces. But then eventually it'll like hop down, and then it like flutters up to a branch, and like flutters down and starts going in the direction of like all of like the huts that everyone was sleeping in. And it flutters over to the little windowsill of your little spider silk hut.
All right. Is that where the rest of you guys are?
Yeah.
Or are you somewhere else?
No, I'm there.
Yeah, I think you're the only one that... I mean, no. Don's probably not there because Don went off to stew somewhere, but he's not, like, too far away. I think Clover's the only one who stayed at the hut.
Yeah, she's just in bed. Looking
at...
I still have the photo, right? I just don't know her name anymore. Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at her.
You know that's your mother, you just can't remember her name.
I think she's trying to forcibly remember her name. I think that's all she's doing this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll come back to the hut then.
Yeah, this raven
I've
is
been
like on the sill.
given the little inkwell spider, so I can keep working on my spell. I don't have to stay out.
Yeah, you do have like a little awakened inkwell spider. But the raven like looks down at like, it's like what, looking at Clover in bed, but Clover has her like back turned to the window and is like looking at this picture and is like thinking super hard.
Thinking so hard.
She does not notice it, and it's just like staring at her.
Clover.
Oh, you don't know my name?
No, I don't know Clover.
Oh yeah, you don't.
Sorry.
That's true.
Cat girl, who is my friend.
Yeah.
Did you ask for a bird?
I turn around.
Oh, hello.
Walks in your face, and then it like hops down onto the bed next to you.
Oh. I don't know if I have any food. It's out there.
It cocks like a silver eye at you, and then there's like this little like shimmer of gold that crosses its eyes, and like you feel these little like this sort of like goldeny glow as like the raven opens its beak, and you begin to hear a message that is pouring out of its beak, and these little like it's like golden moths, right?
Oh.
Jamie?
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
spectral
Aurum's thing is
golden
golden
moths
moth.
just kind of are like flying out. And you hear Aurum's voice saying to you, I believe it was like, giant
the big
spider.
Giant spider is bad. Trying to kill me
Right now.
Yeah. And you hear that in Aurum's voice.
I don't remember Aurum's name, but I remember him, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you remember the voice. You technically don't know.
Okay. I think she like drops the photo and is just stares at the raven, then looks over her shoulder towards Ego.
Yeah.
We need to find him.
That sounded like that.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounded like that
It's
guy.
Yeah. We need to find him.
Oh. Well, Tailspinner is out and about. Are we too
Late?
late?
No. Maybe there's a different spider.
Hold on. Let me think. Ego wants to try and ascertain the likelihood of Aurum being alive by this spell. Trying to figure out what this spell is and whether or not it would still happen if he died.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Roll an Arcana check.
You know, I love to hear those words. Oh, Ego, we're adding the D6, sweetie.
Oh, honey.
You need to learn better druid magic.
That's with a +7?
Oh, you rolled a 1! Yeah, that was with a +7. So with a
Oh.
+8 using my D6, it's an 11. Ugh. Horrible roll. I rolled a 3.
Yeah, so
Really need to learn this magic better.
let's see. So it's a little tricky because you know that like Aurum's magic is relatively new. And Aurum's magic seems to be connected to that weird fruit that he ate. And by extension, Sam. And so like it's Fae, but it's also like from a very different from how you do magic.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say, but like I think you would know well enough that there are so many spells that and so many different ways to like communicate with another person using magic. Like you know that there are some that are like instantaneous, but then there's also some where you can like put a spell like into a magical mouth and it just like says it as long as like something is triggered. So like it could have been instant. It could have been like almost instantaneous, like the time that it would have taken for this raven to get to you. You know that it was hanging out for about like 15, 20 minutes there in like that little clearing before it came over to Clover. But, you know, like, there are some that, like, you cast that, like, they are there until they are dispelled.
Okay. I don't know for sure. But it doesn't necessarily change what we should do. Tailspinner is out and about. So that means he's either around or not around.
Should we
We
go
still
look
need
for-
to get our story back. Well, as far as we know, the only things in this domain are the forest, which is probably endless in some way or loops on itself. The clearing where the stories are told in the scriptorum. So if Yarn Spinner is here, then, or if the big spider, no, we've heard Yarn Spinner.
Yarn Spinner, we
You know
know
Yarn
Yarn
Spinner, yeah. You know
Yeah.
Yarn Spinner.
Then that guy is either he has met an unfortunate doom, cold and alone in the dark, or maybe he's in the scriptorum.
And we can't go there till Yarn Spinner goes to sleep?
Not necessarily. If Yarn Spinner is not in the grove when it's time to sleep, then that means Yarn Spinner is most likely at the scriptorum at night. Which means, as long as Yarn Spinner is telling stories, they're not at the scriptorum right now. So we could try and sneak off. It's just that Yarn Spinner is awake. We have to weigh whether or not going there when they are there but asleep versus going when they are not there but they are awake.
I mean, I can go invisible and trying to sneak away. Just say I'm still in bed sleeping and looking at Mom.
We definitely shouldn't split up at this point, considering
Aurum,
that
or the
Aurum
big
got
guy's
separated. Well,
guy's
that guy
alone.
got separated. Well, yes, but he could also very much be dead. Was actively dying.
I'm gonna go find him.
We can't go alone. We don't know Yarn Spinner to kill yet.
But I believe him when he says Big Spider is bad and trying to kill him. He wouldn't just say that.
Big Spider definitely bad.
Like, that sounds like
We
him. It
should
was his
find-
voice.
We should
I-
find the other guy.
Yeah.
We should find him, and all of us should go find
Well,
the big guy.
aren't the two of them fighting?
They are.
Do you think you could convince him
But-
to come with us to find him even though they're mad at each other?
Well, I mean, that guy wants to go to the scriptorum anyway because we need to get our story. So
Yeah.
we could just look for the other guy. We need to
Well,
do
but-
like nicknames.
Okay.
I still have a name. I don't want to share it in this context. So I'm Big Hat. You're You know, someone really should have given you the nickname Little Cat.
Okay.
That's pretty
like that.
fitting.
Yeah.
Those rhyme. And then the other guy was also a cat, but big. So big hat, little cat, big cat, and the other guy.
The other guy.
And I'm sure we won't get.
I'm leaving.
And I'm sure we won't. I'm sure we won't get those nicknames mixed up at all. So say it with me: big hat, little cat, big cat.
Big cat, little cat, big cat.
I think you said big cat twice. Big hat, little cat.
I said big cat, little cat, big hat. You know, big, little, big.
Okay. Now say it 5 times fast.
I don't want to.
No, we'll find the. Let's go find the other guy.
Yeah. So done. Sorry. He's having to sleep. So you said you were like you're not like too far off?
Yeah, he's nearby.
Okay. Anything you want to have done in like you have like, you know, a little bit of time to kill? Or are you just like stewing?
He has time to kill. I don't think he's stewing anymore because he kind of, you know, has that. I'm mad. I'm over it now.
Yeah.
So
Like-
it's kind of like leaning against a tree and like watching the animals. He's like, he has like the thought. He's like, I should kill and eat one of these things because they're too happy.
That's crazy.
But then he's like, no, it would be too much effort. You know, like one of those, why are you happy when everything is so messed up? I should ruin your happiness. But he's like, that's too much effort to do. This is why I'm not evil.
Yeah. So we're not killing any critters.
No, he's really thinking about it, though.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean,
that...
you can smell that there's brunch. You can smell like pancakes and stuff coming from the clearing where you heard a story yesterday.
I don't want to eat that guy's disgusting liar food.
You might have like some rations on you.
Yeah.
If you have some in your inventory, then you could eat that.
Oh, yeah, he'll probably eat the rations. It's also because some dude whose name he can't remember, though for some reason he doesn't feel that bad about not remembering this guy's name, is like, you know, you need to protect the light. They're having fun. It'd be mean to ruin their fun, so...
Yeah.
Low
An
key, what if
annoying
we
reminder.
rip out the page where they fought each other?
Oh my
We'll have
god.
to see. But yeah, I think the group of you is like for Ego and Big Hat and Little Cat. You do find the other guy, kind of just like maybe like sitting on a little tree stump, eating some rations, some nice like jerky. Like gets up, leans against the stump, hears some like little birds that are like singing a rhyming tune, and like maybe like goes directly away from that. But yeah, the other guy is there.
Hey,
Yeah.
we think that the other guy, Big Cat, may have met his untimely demise at the hands of Yarn Spinner, but we're not sure. He had sent a message with a raven.
Cocks his head a little bit. Well, that sucks.
Understandable. I vaguely remember that you two weren't getting along, but
I was being genuine.
oh, sorry. Either way, we think that it might be best to go to the scriptorum, even though Yarnspinner is awake, because they are here telling stories. They're not there right now. We might be able to sneak in. What do you think?
Sounds like an interesting idea. I'm not really the sneakiest guy in this, and he knocks on the armor.
True, but maybe that is better than trying to break in at night when Yarnspinner is most likely there and asleep.
Mm-hmm. How do we know that Yarnspinner doesn't have anything that might let it know when we break in? We're in his domain after all.
Well, maybe I can do something about that. I'd have to see if it's some kind of magic. It's the best plan we got. I feel like if there's that kind of protection, then they're going to know whether they're awake or asleep.
Fair. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Though if we're not at the reading, they might find that to be a little weird.
We could... I don't know. I don't think that I can make an illusion of us and also do other things.
He shrugs. Either way, we'll have to, I suppose, take a stab at it.
Besides, if Yarnspinner gets upset and wants to confront us, I am perfectly happy to do so. I will pull off each one of their little, well, I guess they're not little, big legs. One at a time, until we get our story back.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, I'm fine with trying during the day.
Alright. And, until we learn each other's names, we've been going with nicknames. I'm Big Hat. That's Little Cat. The other guy is Big Cat. And you're,
The other guy.
Let's go.
You didn't say anything.
I couldn't think of another thing that rhymed.
Why does it have to rhyme?
I mean, it doesn't, but it just would have been more satisfying if they all did.
What it?
I don't know. The only thing that I'm thinking of is a bunch of different animals that aren't you. Bat, rat.
If you called me a rat, I'd punch you in the face. Let's go.
We come on. Well, we have to get. I guess we have to go get the other guy who knows where the scriptorum is.
Nobody.
Right, that's what we were calling him.
Yeah,
That's
the
what he was calling
little orc
himself.
guy.
Alright.
Call you aristocrat.
I'm not an aristocrat. That requires being rich.
You work at a money house.
The money isn't mine. It belongs to other people.
Okay. I will continue to think of a bunch of different nicknames while we make our way to nobody and say that we want to expedite getting in there.
Yeah, nobody's not too far away. He's just like kind of there. He has like this cruel looking dagger in his hand, and he's like picking his like scraggly, jagged, dirty, broken nails with the tip of it. And he stops when he hears you say that you're like, we're going. Does all right, well, I mean, if you're in such a rush, I guess beggars can't be choosers. If you're gonna go in, I'll go now. Feel kind of exposed, but...
Is it why?
Some other guy that we know but don't remember might be dead or dying.
Is it safer to go at night?
Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but if there's a giant spider that is webbing people up and probably eating them and stealing all the things that they know, I'd much rather go and look through his stuff when he's asleep as opposed to when he's awake.
If our friend is alive, then they're probably being stored there to eat, if that's something that they do. In which case, if we wait till they go to sleep, we might be too late.
I mean, gonna be honest, the nature of your friend's life status, not of no consequence to me. I just want to get in the scriptorium, and I don't want to go alone. So if you're going now, I'll follow, and I'll do what I can to help.
How about benefit of sneaking around a place when the big spider isn't in there because there's a guy with loud armor?
Knock, knock, knock.
All right. Yeah, fair point. All right.
Okay.
I can show you the way.
Thank you.
Just try to act natural. You know, don't act creepy.
Well, ego already failed.
Instant fail. But yeah, you guys can make your way through the woods following nobody. Yeah, and you can start heading to the scriptorium. As you like walk, ego, because is your passive perception 12 or is it 14? I always forget.
Mine is 12.
Yeah, okay. So, right as you're like getting to your destination, you do notice that like some of the trees here, most of them that you've seen are like vibrant and like have this like lovely like golden brown wood and these like big green, bright green leaves. And you start to notice that like some of the trees start to get this like orangey tint to them, and some of the leaves look like kind of like orangey brown. Some of the leaves get like a little bit more sparse, and you begin to notice like a lot of mushrooms that are like growing out of the trees, which I think you don't even need to check for this. You would know that like mushrooms tend to like feed on decay. And can be like a sign of like on the one hand, like the natural cycle of things, they break things down and like remove impurities so that other things can then like live and use all of those nutrients, but like in large quantities. And on living things like this can be a sign of like some sort of like disease or like infestation. So you would notice that like some of the trees here begin to get like icky.
Was this... I'll ask nobody, was this part of the forest always like this?
Yeah, it's I've seen some forests like this before, and it's kind of, I mean, this has been here.
That doesn't bode well in this kind of quantity. All right. Well, if anything, it's probably just more evidence that Yarn Spinner is not what they seem, and neither is their realm.
Clover, roll a history check. Oh my god, the music just got...
Holy crap!
Clover going wide-eyed as she sees the end of all things in a mushroom. And then, nope, it was just a little dot.
I'm adding a d6 because that was horrible.
Aurum took all our dice low.
Oh, it's a 6!
Nice.
Hey, normally my dice are
So
bad.
7 plus 6.
Yeah, I believe that's a 13.
Yeah.
This is like, this... The way that this forest looks is like kind of... There's something about it that's familiar to you. You can't quite, like, pinpoint what in this situation, but, like, there's something about it that looks really... that, like, you feel like you've seen something like this before.
Like with the party or by myself?
It's pretty recent. It's kind of like a, oh my god, like I feel like I just saw something like this, and it's like a tip of the tongue thing, and you're like, the final piece hasn't like kind of fallen into play yet, but like you know that it was pretty recent.
Okay, I'll bring that up to the other two and be like, do you guys remember? I feel like I've seen something like this before, like recently. Do you remember?
I'll look at it.
You guys can roll history checks.
Yeah, I'll try. Trying to think, just in our experience.
That is so real. When it's on the tip of your tongue and you're like...
I'm wondering if it's like when we first came to thither. Oh, natural 20. 25.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, you are on the right track. It took it for Ego and for Dawn. You guys didn't quite see this with your own eyes for a little while, but you remember being at like the top of that plateau and looking and seeing that giant fallen tree that you know to be Granny Nightshade's place of residence, Loom Lurch.
Yeah.
And that the woods over there, like the leaves were kind of like turning like brown. All the trees had this like sickly coloring to them in that area. You haven't seen any of them up close yet though, but like it's that kind of like sickly coloration.
Was that spreading or was it only like localized?
You guys were... It's hard to say whether or not it was spreading. You don't know how
I can't remember if we asked anyone.
Spread.
Okay.
I don't think you did.
Kind of like the mushrooms that are around Clockwork Back Lady's hut, right?
Yeah.
The hag.
Yeah. That is where we've seen it before. Do we think... Well... Trying to think. Everything in this particular realm, we had to travel via our memories, our nostalgia, and this yarn spinner does steal that from you a bit. Do we think Maybe Yarn Spinner is actually working with Nightshade? Maybe is in some way?
Or
Maybe.
Or there's another, like, exit point to there from here?
That could also be a...
Like how we
Possibly.
came through the big tunnel? Like that was one entrance, maybe this is the exit? Or close by?
Possibly.
That could also definitely be a possibility.
How close, can I ask nobody how close we are to the scriptorium?
Not too far. Once you start seeing all these, the kind of like rotting trees, you were pretty close.
Okay.
So maybe like 5 more minutes down this way.
Okay, then I'm gonna hold off, because I want to cast invisibility on myself when we get closer, so I can start going through unnoticed.
Yeah. So this like very dense thicket of roots and now like thorns gives way to this imposing like massive wooden door. It's almost like I read this description earlier in the session. That is flanked by these two like twisting thorny plants. And above this door you see this like lattice of spider silk webbing forming words that are written in Common, Druidic, and Sylvan, which I believe all of you can read at least one of those. Or rather two, I think, at least. And this, like, webbing reads, "Only an open book may enter."
Only an open book may... Oh, fuck.
But yeah, you can see that that's, like, ahead of you, like, maybe, like, 20, 25 feet.
We might only be able... If only an open book may enter, we may only be able to get in when Yarn Spinner has just finished taking memories and has a book to get in with. Or returning books back to, the library.
That is definitely a literal understanding of this. If that's the case, we'll have to hide out here until Yarn Spinner returns for the night. But also, I've heard people be referred to as being an open book before. Generally, it means someone that is rather forthcoming about themselves.
Honest?
Speaks truthfully and honestly and doesn't really keep many secrets. If it's something like that, then we might be able to still get inside right now.
Can I just, before we touch anything or go over a threshold, can I just activate Detect Magic and see what type of, the scriptures over top?
Yeah, when you turn on your Detect Magic and your little like cat eyes activate, you can see that this door radiates an aura of divination and illusion magic.
Oh, okay. I'll explain that to Big Hat.
All right. Divination can do all sorts of things. It's a magic that mostly concerns itself with the acquisition of information.
Oh, okay.
Be it looking at things or trying to learn of future events, or I've heard perhaps even hear people's thoughts. It's all about gaining knowledge. Illusions are illusions. If I need to extrapolate on that, let me know.
No, it was, yeah, thank you.
So,
is there any windows, or is this the only entrance into the scriptorium?
Do you, like, investigate further, or, like, do you go around and look?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna cast invisibility and start doing a perimeter fly just to get, like, the whole layout before I come back to the party to tell them what I'm seeing.
Okay. Yeah. It's odd because you see this, like, big door that's, like, set, like, basically, like, directly into trees, and then has these, like, thorny, like, vine plants that are, like, all around. And when you go to, like, go around these trees, you just see the forest.
Okay. Does it give me the same vibe as that tunnel we were walking down?
It's there's definitely some fey magic things happening.
All right. And it's, like, all the way around. Like, if I go all the way around, like, it's just the forest behind it. It's just a door, and then if I look around at any point, it's the forest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll go fly back and tell them. There's no other way in. It has to be there. It's just forest.
All right. Well, we can test my theory if you want.
Okay.
It would require someone that doesn't keep secrets and is willing to be very forthcoming about themselves.
Don stepped forward in size.
I can go too.
Oh, I see. Well, actually, I mean, I guess you both are. Neither of
Yeah.
you really keep secrets.
Yeah, no.
Either of you could work.
Okay, how close are you getting to the door?
Oh, get right up next to it, to be honest. I'll walk right up to it.
Okay. Yeah, once you get within about, like, 5 feet of this door, you see this shimmer. It's like, kind of like when you see, like, the heat waves off on, like, a hot road. There isn't any sort of, like, color, and there's nothing there, but, like, you see movement. And you hear a voice, a familiar one. It's Yarn Spinner. And you hear him say, "Why have you come to the scriptorium?"
Oh shit, that's a little bit too open, huh? He looks back at them, at everyone.
You all heard it.
You muted.
You'd probably have to answer truthfully.
I'm looking for our big friend, Big Cat.
Yeah, looking for a friend.
That's why she's here.
Okay. Ego, are you staying back?
Oh yes,
Don will
because
continue
Ego
to
has
say-
too many secrets.
Yeah, Don will
I'm
continue
beside
to
you.
say.
Yeah,
Don will
beside Don.
continue to say. I mean, not really my friend, but other people are friends with him. He's more of an acquaintance. He gets on my nerves.
Okay. Yeah, you hear this, like, creak as the doors begin to open before the two of you. And you are looking into just, like, this, like, you see this, like, a little bit of, like, gloom in this, like, stone dark tunnel, like a hallway, but then you can see that there appear to be, like, furniture and, like, things beyond.
I'm gonna sneak my way in and try and be quiet.
You do so. You step over the threshold.
I will follow after because little cat going ahead doesn't sound like a good idea because look at her with her squishy warlock buddy.
I'm technically still invisible unless there's a magic thing that drops it.
That is true.
Okay. So, Ego, you would see Dawn and Clover step over the threshold into this, like, darkened hallway. And immediately, like, the doors start closing behind them.
I'm gonna. I probably start to run up, but then I'm like, if I try to sneak in, it's probably going to do something bad. So I wait for the door to close again.
Nobody also starts running up. And nobody's, like, pretty fast.
I want to try and stop him.
Okay. You want to, like, trip him? or something? Like,
I mean, I'm not super strong, so I think even though that's a little bit more aggressive, I think it's better than trying to like strong arm him. Yeah.
Clothesline him?
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. I feel like there's definitely like a trip attack, like knock prone attack, isn't there? It's basic. Is it like a shove? It's like a shove attack, isn't it? Oh my god, that's not what I just typed. What? Okay. There we go. Yeah. It's mechanically it's a shove. So you're basically taking the attack action against him.
Okay. So what do I need to do?
Let's see. Target instead of making an attack, blah, blah, you make an athletics check contested by his athletics or acrobatic.
Oh no, that's a -2.
Oh
boy. Natural 20. So 18.
Let's go.
Let me check his stats. He has really good.
Yeah, I know. That's literally 18 is the best I can physically do.
So he only rolled a 7 on the die, so that's a 14. So you are successful. But yeah, you kind of like just like do you just like stick out your foot? Like, what do you? Paint me a little word picture. What does ego do?
Oh, ego is like if I stick out my leg, he's probably just gonna snap right through it. If I throw my arm out, it's probably not gonna be strong enough. So what I do is I turn my whole body and curl up so that I curl up into a ball so that he just tackles into the all of me. And even though I rolled a natural 20, I think because I have a -2 strength, I still get knocked over on my side in the fetal position. But I like take him out.
This is like when you're like a kid in school and somebody would like push you and there'd be somebody kneeling down behind you and then you would get like pushed over them. Yeah, he goes like tumbling and it falls like face down into like the dirt and grass here, and it's like, what is wrong with you? The door. And then he like looks up and the door it comes close. The door was open. Why are you curling up in a ball? You can't function unless your friends are right next to you.
Ooh, that stung a little. The door says only an open book may enter. We need to be honest with our intentions. You can't just sneak in on someone else's word. It will cause something bad to happen. I'm sure of it.
So, what, I have to say what I want to do?
You have to be completely honest with your intentions.
All right.
Okay.
After you.
I get up and I dust myself off. You can't run in after me.
All right.
Actually, I want to know your intentions too. Actually,
okay.
After you.
Ugh.
Or we can walk up together.
Fine. We'll say at the same time. On 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I want to get my name back.
I want my story back. I want my friend back. And I want to see if Tails Yarn Spinner has any magic I can take.
Yeah, the door begins to creak open. And the two of you can pass through. And then I can take you guys over
I want to be a little bit of a sneak thief.
Oh my god. Okay. Where are you guys? There we go. Aurum, get over here.
Oh, I'm here? Yeah!
Well, I mean, I need your token over here.
Oh.
Oh, I need that. Oh. Oh, the box. Oh. Go away. Okay, sorry. Taking you guys out of the little shame box.
Aw.
Okay. Can I move your little flag? Okay. Reveal areas. And then let me grab Clover, Dawn, Ego. I have to get a token for everybody in a second.
Love this track so far.
This isn't a scary room at all. This looks like a very happy, fun room where we're gonna play party games and have a good time. And nothing bad's gonna happen. I swear. Look at all those happy books. I'm sure there are board games on one of those shelves.
Definitely.
Oh,
Alrighty.
for sure.
Where's my token page? Okay. Move him here. And move here. I gotta change this guy. Hold on, I just realized that his token says his real name. Okay. Okay, cool, it worked. Yeah, so you guys are right there. Aurum, you're not there. Yeah, so this large hall is filled with rows of bookshelves stacked with tomes of all shapes and sizes. Across the ceiling in spider silk, you see another phrase written. And it says, "Don't judge a book by its cover," in Common, Druidic, and Sylvan.
You're muted.
You're muted, Graph.
It reminds me of when they write things in multiple languages at the bank so people from all over could read them.
Alright. Let's assume that everything we read should be taken very seriously. So we can't just go by what a book looks like or it being what we're looking for. I think maybe it would be best to try and find the other guy first. Maybe he's seen something here if he's conscious and alive.
Yeah.
I look at nobody and I go, even if you think that you see your story, don't take it yet. You need to figure out how this place works.
Alright, I guess I'll just follow you like some sorry schmuck until you tell me to do something. Is that how that's gonna work? I just won't do anything at all.
Clearly the rules are important. This could be our only chance.
How tall is, like, the ceiling in this room? Like, how far up do the bookshelves go?
It's pretty high up.
At least 2 feet.
Yeah. The ceilings go up like probably like, you know, maybe like 15, 20 feet. And that message is like hanging almost like a big banner across the room.
Okay.
The bookshelves themselves are only like, you know, maybe like half of that height, like 7 to 10 feet tall.
Oh, Captain, my captain. Am I? For one, did I get a long rest?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I mean, that answers everything else. That answers everything else.
Actually, interesting. Okay, no, wait, actually, we have a little bit more time. No, it actually would happen now based on the timing. So that silver raven has been with you guys, like, this whole time, and it, like, shwoop,
Okay.
and turns into, like, a little metal figurine.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Huh.
That's right. That other guy got this from that one guy.
What does that mean?
The guy with the gold. He got this from him.
The gold maker
for Kristy's reference, that was Nib's cave, the guy
Sorry.
that spun magic items. Okay.
Clover means, like, why did it turn into this little thing at this point? She's like, what does this mean?
Is that good or bad?
Maybe the timing just ran out on it. I don't know how it works.
I didn't identify it when he got it.
Yeah, because you guys each received your own and basically, like, immediately attuned to them.
Well, we don't want to leave it here.
No, I'll put it in my pocket.
I'll bend down and pick it. Okay, you can.
Yeah, I had it. Sorry. I'll put it in my pocket. I'm going to fly up to the center of the room and just kind of do, like, a perception to see what we're dealing with.
Yeah, so you don't even need to roll for this. As you're looking around, Clover's definitely been to, like, a library before. I think it was, like, your mom, like, maybe one time, like, sent you to, like, a library summer camp in, like, Candlekeep. Like, you had this whole, like, fun, like, little trip, and you got to, like, go to Candlekeep and, like, learn about it and, like, go and see some books. Yeah, and, like, Clover was definitely, like, hanging out in, like, the animal section, like, where they have, like, the big book of dogs and, like, the big book of cats. So you don't actually necessarily learn, whether or not you learn something about Candlekeep, is for another session, but you've been in a library before, and you know that they usually have sections, and it becomes clear to you, as you look, you can actually see that, like, the shelves have, like, little bits of spider silk, like, woven on the top of, like, the different sections. And they are labeled adventure, classics, fantasy, fiction, self-help, and uncategorized.
I'll point them out towards the group. Like, which section is which?
I swear to God, if my book is in the self-help section, I'm gonna have a conniption.
Oh man.
Well,
I'm putting them in lore dumps. You know, I'll drop like little text labels. Like, just bright, freaky yellow. Oh, that's so small.
Adventure, classics, fantasy, fiction, self-help.
Adventure.
Adventure!
Another thrilling adventure.
Oh my
It's
god.
1990 New York. Fantasy. What's fantasy here and what's reality? This is a line.
Fantasy is
I feel like we're
Hollywood.
breaking the fourth wall.
fantasy is Hollywood. That's all it is.
Well, I mean, is this the real life?
Is this-
fantasy?
You know what? kind of wish we listened to how
Caught in a
Yarn
landslide?
Spinner. I wish we listened to how Yarn Spinner told our story. It would probably tell us what section it would be in.
I've got a guess as to mine. I'm one of 2 sections. One of 3 sections.
I'm interested in this door over here, though. So you guys can, look through your books.
Well,
I am labeling
ooh, okay.
all of these for you.
Okay.
This one is like...
Let's see. Since it's the biggest section, it seems, Ego will start on one end of adventure and basically go down the line. That's what I'll be doing.
I think I'm also probably going to follow Dawn to the door since I'm looking for Big Cat first before I worry about the books.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so nobody will also start looking around and kind of scans through everything. It's kind of just looking at whoa. Okay, that's looks at everything here, goes around, and we'll go over kind of back near the adventure books where you first came in. We will get back to the stacks in a second. We're gonna go to the little room. The little room people. Share. Yeah, you're able to open those doors. Oh my god, please.
We'll peek in and just go, lion guy. If you're alive, say so.
So, yeah, so you pop into this side room, and you can see that there's a half-full bookshelf on the opposite wall from where you guys enter, and it's labeled with more webbing. Please return books here, in those spider silk letters. And then to your right, there are 2 doorways. There's kind of a more western one and a more eastern one. And they're closed, and each one is labeled with the words "quiet, please." And you immediately start calling for the lineman and yelling. So,
am I alive?
Yeah, Aurum. You do hear them. You are a little bit you're not really in a position to go out and go help them because you are fully wrapped like Frodo after being attacked by, I think her name was Shelob, the spider. You were fully encased like a little web mummy.
Yeah.
And Aurum, for your sake, I will
I was already gonna go left.
I know you were.
Left.
I was already gonna go left. You can't. I can't metagame it. I was already going left.
Yeah. So Clover, you begin going towards the left door, and then at the same time, as you're going up to that door, the door to that more eastern room on the right, actually pushes open. And Dawn, you see this big furry brown face of a grizzly bear pops out, and it looks around and says, "Did you not read the sign? You have to be quiet in here. Why are you yelling?"
My bad.
Thank you. While you're here, friend, could you help me with something? I find there's a word here in this book that I don't quite there's a lot of letters, and I don't see how they make sense all together in one word.
Yeah,
I'm still learning to read.
I'm good at reading.
Yes, if you wouldn't mind. And she will like basically like pick up her book. She has this like illustrated children's story that she picked up, and she plops it down. You can see the cover has the title written on it, and it says where the Feywild things are.
Oh my god!
And she'll tell you. I found this. There's like a little shelf that said a very big word that I could not read, and it was the only shelf like that. So I picked this book up because I thought that's so strange, and that they don't. They just kind of like looked weird. I just thought it was very exciting. So I picked this up. Okay, and there's this word here, and it's WHISTLE. Whistle. Am I saying that right?
Right. So, no, the word you're looking for is whistle.
Whistle.
Yeah, when you see
Whistle.
when you see STLE, right? Instead of pronouncing everything, it would be most of it is silent, so you're pretty much only pronouncing the S. Whistle, like thistle, and the I, since there is no other vowel near it, you don't pronounce it like I, you pronounce it like eh.
Well, I don't know why they would do all of that with all the extra letters and just make it there and it does not make a sound. It's so pointless to just add a bunch of silent letters onto the end of a word, but okay.
I didn't make the language, I just know the rules.
This bear is my favorite NPC we've ever had.
Whistle. Okay. Tell me if this sounds right. The boy sped through the thorns fast as a hare, and he whistled a tune and ran backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Good job.
Thank you for your help. If you
That
need
is
help
a
finding
literate bear.
if you need help finding any books, just let me know. I've been here for a few hours, and I would be more than happy to help. Jan came by this morning, and said that I could come here and read. So I'm here learning how to read. So just let me know, and I can help.
Yeah, if you know any books about heroes looking for things that they lost, or if we have to get specific, tired, angry businessmen, bankers specifically, let me know.
And she starts thinking about that. At the same time, so Clover, you see this like bear immediately begins a conversation with Dawn.
I'm invisible, but I hold still until they go into the room, and then I start working on the door trying to open it.
And that room like opens wide up. And you can see that hold on, Aurum. Hold on. So within this room, like there's all these little cushions on the floor, and like there's like a little like table where you can like put a book. And you can see that there's a single book in this room. The title is Where the Campestries Sing. And that's all that you see in there.
Do I still hear Aurum, or do I not hear Aurum at all?
You didn't hear him at all before.
Okay. I'll look at the book. Is it open, or is it, like, closed?
It's closed.
Can I activate my detect magic? I think it's gonna probably drop. That would probably drop my invisibility, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you have to activate it.
I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna
Or
drop
you technically you can't see.
I know.
But you did hear. You are hearing that she's there.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop invisibility since I'm gonna shut the door, and then drop invisibility after I shut the door, and then activate my detect magic and try and look around.
Yeah, you look around, like, the book doesn't seem to give off any sort of magical aura. You do see that there is this, like, solid black candle that's, like, sitting in, like, a little... It's completely unlit, unused, sitting in, like, a little, the word is escaping me. A little thing that holds a...
Candelabra?
And, like, a taper...
Candlestick?
A candlestick, yep, that's... Yeah, wow, a candlestick.
Candlestick?
It's completely, like, pitch black candle, pitch black wick sitting in this candlestick there, and that is giving off a magical aura.
Ooh, bars.
Can I roar?
Yeah, pitch black candle, pitch black wick sitting in this candlestick.
Candlestick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Aurum, you can use your roar ability if you
I'm
want.
gonna use my roar because I feel like that's gonna be louder than any other noise I can make.
Does that cause a fear effect?
It does?
Okay, what does she have to roll?
DC 13 wisdom saving throw.
Go for it, Clover.
Okay.
I don't know if she's friend or foe. So
Make sure I have the D20.
The School of Magic would be that kind of, like, reddish evocation magic on the candle.
Evocations. Okay. 9. 7
Okay,
plus
yeah.
2.
You hear this, like, very loud roar all of a sudden, and, like, it's coming from directly above you.
I look up.
There is, like, a body, like a humanoid shape that is, like, completely webbed to the ceiling in this room. Like, a good, like, 15 feet up on the ceiling. And, like, completely encased, like, you can't see any features other than that, like, this is a humanoid-shaped, like, web sack.
Is there magic on it or around it?
Yeah, there would be a magical aura around, like, where its feet would be, I believe. Because and then a magical
and I
aura,
have the mantle,
like, around its shoulders.
Yeah.
I don't want to meta this. Do you think I can roll a history check to see if I remember that that's what he would wear?
Yeah, go for it. Roll a history check.
I mean, I'm a lion and I roared.
And you did hear a roar. You're scared, but, like, I feel like it's...
Okay, yeah. Can I move towards you, or how long does this last?
I think it's, like, one round, right?
It's one round. It's the end of the next turn.
I think you have your moment where you're like, shit! And you look up and you're like, oh shit!
You're like,
and then you're like, okay,
I
wait,
almost dropped my croissant.
Yeah. And you look up and you're like, oh, okay, like, that's a person.
The cat, okay. I gotta fly up, and I'm gonna get one of my daggers and try to start getting where his face is so I can make him... I don't know if he can't breathe or not. My assumption is he's suffocating, so I'm trying to get his mouth.
Yeah, you can. You have to be careful, but
yeah,
you can get his face, like, cut out of there.
The cat.
Hey, fairy wings.
Okay, that works too. Are you okay? What happened? I'm just gonna start trying to get you out.
Do I remember what the spider was doing?
Yeah, you remember everything that happened. You just don't remember any names of, like, people names.
I was wandering around and I saw a big scary spider, so I followed it, and it was making webs and making books appear. And then I asked him when he got to this door what he was doing.
What did he say he was doing?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, he stole all the names that we know. I think he stole our story and took our names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember your name.
I don't remember
he
yours
was a
either.
ghost. He looked like a ghost. Like, ooh, he put his arm through me. Because at first I was like, let's make a deal, you know.
Was it Yarn Spinner though, or was it someone else? Is there another one?
That sounds familiar.
That sounds kind of...
You're like,
right.
oh, okay, yep, that's that one's name.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. I'm gonna... When I cut this, you're gonna fall. Can you be ready to land?
I always land on my feet.
Okay.
Yeah, you cut it. Roll a dexterity saving throw. We're just gonna see something. Is it a 1?
No, it's a 10 plus something.
You are fine. You land on your feet.
Nice.
Did he hurt you?
Well, yeah. He wanted me to go to sleep, and I told him I wouldn't go to sleep. And then he decided to bite me a couple times. Took him a little while.
I got your raven. I'll hand it back to you.
Oh, it worked! Wow, I didn't think it was gonna work. That's awesome.
Worked. It really worked.
Nice. I'll take my raven back.
The others, Big Cat and the other guy, they're looking for our books. Because those books, I think, have our stories and our names. And there's another guy here, too, Nobody. He's also looking for his name. But I think we need to be quick, because I don't know when Yarn Spinner's coming back. And if he tried to kill you, he's probably going to try to kill all of us when he finds us here.
Oh, I made a deal that if I told him what I was doing when I stalked him, that he would give me a story.
Did you have a dream?
Yeah. He showed me myself growing up, but he also showed me when my dad died, and
Do you remember your dad's name?
no. But the Wild Hunt did it. Do they normally leave here? The Feywild?
I don't know. Maybe Eagle, or maybe Big Cat will know? You're sure you're
Maybe.
okay? You're not hurt?
I mean, I'm pretty good now. I slept it off. It's great. I just got a little... I mean, that was actually a pretty nice hammock. I was struggling for a while, and I was like, man, I really need to sleep.
Let's go. I'm going to grab your hand and start leading you towards the other.
Oh boy. Right. So,
Bro remains unbothered.
I know, right? She's
So
almost like, "Are you sure
unbothered.
you're good?" And he's like, "I had a great nap. What do you mean? Best sleep of my..."
Yeah, it was great. Just had a really bad dream.
For ego, what kind of, like, are you looking in a specific section, or just, like,
Yes,
like, what's calling to you?
I am looking through adventure. I'm trying to keep in mind, of course, that it says, don't judge a book by its cover. So, I mean, do they have titles?
Mhm.
All right, yeah. So I'm scanning through the adventure titles.
Yeah.
I said not to judge on my covers. I don't know that.
Yeah, you look through, like, the adventure section, and so, you come over to one shelf, that has this book that, like, the spine says Star-Crossed Lovers, and, like, you pull that one out, and you come to realize it's this, like, thrilling, like, romantasy, like, kind of, like, romance, like, thriller, about this elf named Mazikoth and this moonstone dragon that he falls in love with, and as he travels the multiverse studying the stars. And you're, like, flipping through, and this book ends in a cliffhanger as the elf travels to the stars to discover a dark star on the edge of night.
That's dope as shit. That's so
Cliffhangers.
cool.
It's really cool.
Okay. Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's see.
Ego very quickly goes from looking for specific books to just like, fuck it, let's pull them all.
Where's the sequel?
Yeah. You turn around and, like, take a quick peek at, like, the classics, because, like, nothing else in the adventure section. You're definitely not seeing, like, anything that is reminiscent of, like, your story or any knowledge that you have from your own life. But you do see all kinds of, like, adventure stories. Like, basically like people going on quests and like missions to like find the Holy Grail or to like rescue a princess from a tower, stuff like that. But you flip over to like the classics shelf there, and you like look through, and you find a book that's called Claretta's Web, and you look through, and it's a story about this like awakened pig. And it's actually about to go to slaughter, and it gets saved by this friendly little spider that writes nice things about the pig in its webs.
Classic. That's
He goes
100% a
like-
classic.
There we
He
go.
goes-
That's a good classic.
He
That's a
goes
good
like,
classic.
"Oh, the spider helps him." Closes it, puts the book back. Like he goes like, "Of course, the spider is like super helpful in the story."
Sounds like fiction to me.
2 stars. 2 stars.
God, do you know how badly? Do you know if I didn't think it would cause a lot of trouble, I would go put that in fiction. Like,
Yeah. Do you want to go that one? You're also not seeing anything that reminds you of your story. Do you want to look at another section?
Look at fiction while you're there.
I would look in self-help because the reason we are on our adventure is to help ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will go with the upper left self-help.
Yeah. You look through here and you find this book that is called The Magic of Creative Writing. And that kind of like piques your interest because you're like, what kind of like, you know, eldritch like things can be like written that could like help me. Maybe like this is what's gonna help me. And you quickly come to realize that this book is like a guide about writing pieces of fiction. But then you start to like, you don't even have to roll for this because you are a wizard. You start to notice that there are like patterns in certain letters on the text. This is a spell book. Like there's ciphers basically like written in like certain like codes there. Like, so yeah, this is a spell book. And within it, you realize that there are the spells Cause Fear, Charm Person, Comprehend Languages, Illusory Script, Sleep, and Tasha's Hideous Laughter. I think you already might have some of those.
I think the only one I have is Sleep.
Okay.
All of the rest of those would be new for me.
Yeah,
and
those are all in
useful.
there.
Let no one ever say that I'm not down to sometimes shit stir a little bit. That goes in my bag.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Anything else that you want to look at? You don't find anything about any hags, or any like making wishes. You don't find anything about your story there.
I pop my head through the doorway and I'm like, I'm not seeing our story anywhere. I'm worried that it's the one that was taken out today.
Could be.
There's a book in there. I can't read.
I'll go look at the book that we just left behind in the other
The
room.
one that was in Aurum's room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, so it's called Where the Campestries Sing. You open it and flip through, and it's like this little coming-of-age story about the life and adventures of this Eladrin girl who grows up in a marsh in the Feywild. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think it's that one.
And they're super hot.
There's no crawdads.
Awesome.
I guess I will go look at fantasy.
I could start punching books.
Please don't.
I point to Aurum and I go, hey, it's that other guy.
Hey,
Big hat.
Big hat.
big hat.
Hey, big cat.
So I think the group of you would also see that like Dawn is like kind of like on the threshold of this other room. Oh, I didn't reveal it. With a familiar face to Aurum, there is a grizzly bear there, like with her book, like in the doorway, and Dawn is there, like listening to her read some stuff, and she's like talking to him.
Hey, it's the bear!
Oh, I recognize you. What was your? Please forgive my manners. I don't recall your name. But I recognize you nonetheless. I thought you said you couldn't read.
I can't.
Then why are you here?
I don't know. I was brought here, I guess.
You were brought here?
The spider brought me here.
Oh, to teach you to read?
No, to tie me to the ceiling.
Sacre bleu. What?
Yeah, I knew too much. They said I knew too much, because they're bad.
No, you must be mistaken.
It bit me twice. 3 times.
What spider do you speak of?
The big spectral one. The one that looks like a ghost. It was going through trees and stuff.
And its name was Yarn Spinner?
Yarn Spinner.
No, you are mistaken. Yarn Spinner is not a ghost. Yarn Spinner is sort of brown and black and gray.
No.
He's not a ghost. I don't think. I've never met a ghost, but I don't think he's a ghost. I think he's a spider.
Last night, all right, I was walking around. It seemed like everybody was sleeping. I was walking around, and there was a ghost spider that was really big. And I saw it making stories out of webs, and I said, "What are you doing?" And it was like, "What did you see?" "I can't hurt you because my arms go through you," and then it bit me.
Well, that does not sound like Yarn Spinner at all.
Well, it was. They gave me a story when I went to sleep.
That does not sound like, that's just not, I don't understand how that could be right. Yarn Spinner is very kind. Yarn Spinner helped to awaken many animals, myself included, who were in difficult situations in our lives, and we found ourselves here. And Yarn Spinner takes care of us and gives us food and reads us stories. And Yarn Spinner.
What if there's two? What if there's a different Yarn Spinner?
Well, how would there be two?
I don't know, like twins? But
like
different?
the sun and the moon.
I mean, maybe nighttime Yarn Spinner's different than daytime Yarn Spinner?
Maybe we have day and night because in the day, they are the sun and the moon.
They tell...
When the other one comes out, it gets dark outside.
Would make sense for balance.
Or maybe Yarn Spinner's just really good at lying.
That could be it too. It's a spider. You can't ever trust a spider.
No. Yarn Spinner would never lie, only just tell a fantastical tale.
Oh, yeah?
That's a new word that I just learned
That's
a few hours ago. Fantastical.
I'm gonna go look for our books. I'm gonna go see if I can find something.
Okay. Yeah. Or the brown bear is very confused as to why like Yarn Spinner would have tied you up, and she'll even tell you that like there's like Yarn Spinner like usually like when people are like I don't want to be here, I want to go, like will literally like she's like he helps them leave if they ask to leave.
Nope, that wasn't. I tried to leave. And I got webbed to a tree and then bit 3 times.